You know you are meant for more, a higher ceiling, and a floor that is strong enough to hold it. That's your belief system talking, and this is the subconscious work, the 95% that makes growth feel inevitable. It works in any business, any facet of life. We built you a free 3-minute quiz to show you where the gaps are and what is possible for you. It's fast, it's honest, it's fun, and it might surprise you. If you already know that Outspoken is for you, join us. The next cohort kicks off in August. Both links are in the show notes. Welcome to the Own Your Choices, Own Your Life podcast. You've landed in the right place to learn how to own your story, release subconscious beliefs, rewire your mind, and step into the impact you know you're here to create. Through Outspoken Publishing and NLP certifications, we share the tools and subconscious shifts that expand your voice, your message, your confidence, and your leadership. I am your host, Marsha Van Weinsberg, NLP trainer, speaker, author, and publisher. I am thrilled you are here. Let's get started. Last month, I went through an experience that was difficult, frustrating, and I always believe that everything is teaching me something. And when I can get my brain around what the lesson is, then I can do my best to share it in live time. That's what this platform is for. That's how I want to be able to share. And I can still find ways to do that without ever sharing all the details. But I know that this one is important, and I'm still working on it in how I'm sharing it. But I feel like this is a great lesson and something to share about the work of subconscious work in live time and what it can look like. So probably by the time this releases, it's going to be a couple months. I had somebody who was a health professional telling a new client, unbeknownst to her, that it was a current client of mine, that she could support X client with NLP. And my client was like, "Oh, interesting. Where did you learn that from?" And it just turned out that she happened to use my name and said how she had trained under me. And of course, it made its way back to me. If you don't know, like literally, first off, there's very few NLP trainers in Ontario, very few. Secondly, it's a small community. This is a small community. I attend a lot of networking events in my area that it is not uncommon to cross paths to, people know each other. And then I don't have a very common name. So as soon as she said Marsha, my client was like, "Oh yeah, I know her. I'm actually training under her right now." And I laugh because that's how things can happen, right? They can happen in the moment. And it was so interesting how this came back to me. Of course it did, because that's literally how it happens. So anyways, my client came back to me and was like, "Oh, I didn't know that you supported this person." And I was like reading the message going, "Well, that's weird because I don't actually, and I haven't. And I know we've had 55 students come through. I still know who their names are. And I know this was not one of them." And so I really want to share with you what this experience was like because, I mean, obviously it's not over. I'm not going to divulge a name, but I do want to share with you how I could catch myself, how much I have changed in the process, and how you can still change who you are and still have good boundaries in place and not let someone walk all over you. Let's just say that. See, as I sat there, I was like, wait a minute. This is not true, actually. Like, this actually is, it's not true. It's not a stretch. It's not true. And in this world, we call that a lie. And so I was like, wait a minute. I needed to talk to my client. And I did. And as I got clarity on it and we started to realize what was happening, I could see old patterns in me show up. And this is why I feel it's important to share this because whenever you have something that evokes a feeling that is actually creating a visceral response, and this was visceral, trust me, because once I was understanding what was happening, Then I have my key people that I reach out to. I've got in my space, whether it's immediate team or people that I reach out to, that I say, okay, I need to just clear this in my head. It's not that I need to sit and bitch. I need to just help supporting me in this. My very first reaction was, oh, that the fighter Aries in me was like on fire. Like, oh no, 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 not happening. And I don't have a problem standing up for myself. In fact, I actually have to watch sometimes and being like, okay, let's just calm down. So it wasn't calm. My first thoughts were not calm. They were completely connected to old fighter versions of me that were like, okay, we're like full guns blazing. We're not backing down. And God, I love my fighter. She has got me to where I am today, but I don't need her at all times. So she was the very first response. And so your first response in a situation is most likely, like, say, for example, the feeling and emotion that showed up for me was like this defensive and this fighter, this like, how dare you lie about me in a context. And what happens subconsciously is it feels this energy in the nervous system in your entire body, and subconsciously, it's like, oh, wait, what's that tied to? And all of a sudden, it now piggybacks on all the old past emotions that are tied to that same kind of story, those same feelings. And so before I knew it, I'm like running rampant of all the other times I have felt this way. And so you have to stop yourself in the moment and just go like, okay, I'm sharing with you how I had to do this. I had to stop. I had to get my facts in order. I literally had to do some clarifying of details. And then I had to stop and breathe. And then I had to be in a space of like, wow, that was pretty ramped up pretty fast. And it was tied to a whole lot of other emotions. And I noticed it. I was like, okay, just we see the feelings. We don't have to become the feelings, right? We can see the fear, the anger, the resentment. Those are all emotions. We don't have to become them. And that's what I started to do. So as I started to put things in order and I started to like get really clear on how I was handling this, I also recognized this involved another person. So I had to be in a space of letting this person decide how they were going to handle it first, because then I was going to piggyback on it and handle it myself. And I really got into a space of recognizing that I knew how I wanted to respond. I knew what I wanted to say, but the timing wasn't right. And I needed to calm myself down and be in a space of like, A, recognize those feelings are all valid, Marsha. You're allowed to feel them. B, and not everything is requiring a response right now today, right? If the world's not on fire. That's one of the things that I use with my team. I'm like, I know we're frustrated, but like nothing's on fire, right? We're good. And I dropped back into a state, like a grounded state. I really went to this space of it is okay to feel everything that you're feeling. You're allowed to feel these feelings. And as I really anchored into that, I think that day I listened to my subliminals on repeat because they really do help to calm my nervous system. I did some EFT tapping and I just got real about what I was feeling. And when I mean about getting real, I've been doing this like journaling and writing. It's like the stream of consciousness writing where you just allow yourself to write for periods of time. And what was coming up for me was it felt like I could put a meaning to it. It felt like this was a threat against my credibility. It was a threat against who I was. It was like a credibility hack, as one of my clients called it, and it felt personal, and I felt like you did this to me, like you're lying about me. And you know what? Here's another piece of NLP that I was able to reframe and see. It's actually not about me. I'm sorry. It's not about me. A person's behavior is about them. It just so happens that I'm in the crossfires of it. And as soon as I could start to reframe and see it from that lens, I'm like, oh, wait, this isn't about me at all. No, this isn't about me. You have used my name, and that's not okay. Like, not cool at all. But I could see why all of these feelings were coming up because it felt personal. It felt like it was a personal attack. And as I started to calm myself down and being in a space of allowing all the feelings that were showing up for me and allowing, like, validating that you get to feel this way. Like, this is personal because you have built this program from scratch. 55 people. I have worked like crazy building out everything in this portal. And in this process, I was able to recognize how I felt, find safety within myself, release what wasn't serving me, see it from my own lens, look at the like internal representation. Internal representation means that I could see it from my lens and realize that that wasn't about me at all. And as I compiled all of that, I put a plan together for how I can stand up for myself. And I watched myself in this process and realizing that, it was like I felt it. I felt the rage, felt the anger, and was able to have a conversation, put it into place, gathered all my evidence, regulated myself, and continued to put that plan in place and stand up for myself. And guess what? At the end of the day, we're not done yet, but at the end of the day, the result is still the same, right? I'm going to be able to stand up for myself and still retain my own personal power. And I think this is the piece that was missing before. When I would be in a space of like spitfire everywhere and like just going after and trying to prove a point, when I was in that space, what happens is that I'm giving away personal power everywhere and I'm depleted. And if I'm depleted, now I subconsciously am resentful because she did this to me, but actually I did this to me. And this is the piece that I'm continuously coming back to is I felt like, wow, I retained my own personal power and this felt really good. And that's what can happen is that as I sat there and I finished, I went, oh, wait, I actually used all of my own tools, right? All of my own tools, everything from regulating my subliminals, EFT tapping, nervous system regulation. I anchored in being grounded and supported, validated all of my own feelings, heard myself, felt safe within myself. And as I did that, I just felt like, okay, this is exactly why we use these tools. This is exactly why we do it. And it felt really good to be able to walk through this experience. Now, as I'm done, I started to recognize that, you know what? Yeah, well, I'm not done, just so I'm saying. Where I'm actually not done. I am going to be in a space where I will follow through with this. I already have a meeting coming up. And, at the end of the day, this is my IP, my own intellectual property. And as I'm saying that, I'm like, interesting. I sent everything through to get a second opinion. And they're like, oh, absolutely, we need a meeting. So do I walk away from this? Oh, no, 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 no. If you know me, I don't walk away from this. But I certainly have retained my own personal power. And at the end of the day, it's not my reputation that's on the line. It's not. And what can I control? My own reputation. I can control myself, how I lead myself, how I move through this, and what this looks like. And that's what I'm doing. And I'm really, really proud of that because that is not something a version of me, who knows, maybe even 6 months to a year would have done. And it was all using my own tools that we use all the time. So I just wanted to share this with you, this lifetime example, because this is the work. This is the work while you're in the work. And I'm just really grateful for where this work has led me and how it has taught me to continue to lead myself and share this message with you. So if you are curious about this work and want to learn a little bit more, take the quiz that's in the show notes. The quiz is just really there to help you to see where those gaps are, right? Where are those gaps in your own beliefs within yourself? Or you can just jump in and take a spot in the August cohort of Outspoken because these tools have been an absolute game changer in my life and business. And I'll continue to shout that one out. So thank you so much for being here. I hope you have an absolutely incredible day. Thank you for being the space where I get to share these personal stories, always in hopes that I know that it can support you somewhere on your journey. Have an incredible day. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Own Your Choices, Own Your Life. I invite you to tag me on social media with your takeaways or share it with a friend. If you feel called, please leave a 5-star review and I would be forever grateful. Until next time, remember, when you own your choices, you own your life.